Happy holidays. Christmas is one of my favorite seasons and just like favorite holidays in general. And I can't wait to just share some of my gift ideas with you guys. Welcome, tennis fans, to Tennis Traverse Exploring the Game, the podcast that delves into the heart of the tennis world. I'm your host, Ivy Zhang. And in today's episode, I'll be talking about some Christmas gift ideas for a tennis lover. And before I begin, I do want to say that I'm a little bit sick. I've been handling headache and horrible headache actually all day, and I'm sorry if my voice sounds a little bit weird and if there's too many pauses, because I will be pausing. I don't know, I just have a weird cold. And I know that this episode will come out after Black Friday, so I'm really sorry that I missed like the whole Thanksgiving and the whole just period of where you can buy gifts, but I mean, still, it's for like just, I guess, people who really enjoy the holidays and want to buy someone something for Christmas. I do have this episode from last year, but I think this year's will just be more sort of suited to this year, and I just think it'll be better. So if you guys want to hear about like the episode from last year, feel free to do that, but I think this year's will be better. And I'm sorry if I sound just a little bit disoriented because I have a really bad headache. So I want to start off by talking about my personal anecdote of getting a tennis-related gift. So I really love tennis, and I have so many tennis-related gifts, and sometimes I just get them on my own. I really don't have, like, for example, a holiday for me to get them. But, for example, when I go to the US Open, I'll always buy memorabilia, and I have, like, a whole sort of drawer of, like, tennis memorabilia displays. And I do remember my mom buying me, like, Naomi Osaka posters for Christmas, because I'm a huge Naomi Osaka's fan, and I had a phase where I would just stick posters of my favorite celebrities on a wall, and it would just be photos of my favorite tennis players. There was like a whole wall dedicated to Naomi Osaka, and it was just like a really cool thing, and I was really happy when she got me those posters. So yeah, that's my personal story. But now I want to talk about some gear and equipment gifts that you can give. So the first thing I feel like is the most obvious, which is tennis rackets. But in my opinion, tennis racket is such a hard gift to give if you don't know the person well, because there's so many tennis rackets that, that are available on the market. And for me, I'm really peculiar. I really want to try out my racket before sort of buying it, because if someone's like a seasoned tennis player, then they definitely know what racket they like. So for example, for me, I really like the Onyx racket, but I know my friends really prefer, like, for example, the Wilson and the Babolat ones. So it really depends. But if it's someone that really want to get started on tennis and it's like an adult, then I suggest just buying like a cool racket. Like, just search up beginner rackets and I'm sure there will be some. But if, for example, if you know the person really well, if they're like your partners where you play tennis with them and you know the type of racket they would like, feel free to just buy that. If they, for example, expressed maybe thoughts about their racket being a little worn down, or they want to like maybe just switch up another color, that would be a great idea too. And the second is accessories. So I feel like this is much easier than the tennis rackets. You can give them like grip tape where you grip the rackets. I'll be leaving some links. I mean, grip tapes is such a unique idea. Not really unique, but there's so many different colors because it's just the tape you use to grip your racket. I mean, some people prefer the standard white or black, but I've always been a white and black girly, but I really want to try the colorful ones. My favorite color is blue, so after I used all my black grips, I really want to try the light blue ones. So yeah, that's something that I think if you know someone's favorite color, you can ask them. If you don't, and you can buy the grips. I also suggest buying grips from Wilson or Head. I'll leave a link for you guys, or just any other. If you just search on Amazon, I'm pretty sure they will pop up. I also want to talk about vibration dampeners. So these are the little sort of gadgets you see on the racket, and these are just, I mean, these are for to just like stop the vibration of the strings where you're hitting the ball. And I feel like this is just personal preference. Like my doubles partner, she doesn't use a dampener at all, but I do. And I think there's like, again, it's so versatile. There's so many different shapes. There's like smiley faces, there's like brand logos, there's just so many different ones. Some people even just use a rubber band, but I feel like if you don't know the person really well, giving them a dampener could just, or like using it as a stocking stuffer will be good. And I also want to talk about some bags. So I mean, bags is, I feel like, a more sort of expensive purchase compared to the accessories. So the bags, I mean, you don't have to give them like a huge professional, like an 8 to 12 racket bag, because that's like huge. For me, I don't even have a huge tennis bag like that. I would just use like a backpack sort of thing. I have the one from Yonex, but there's so many cute ones online. There's a really cute Wimbledon one from, I believe, Babolat. My friend had that. I'm gonna see if I can link it, but it's like a really cute white design with like gold plated on the sides. It's really cute. And yeah, but there's truly so many tennis just bags out there, and it's, I think, just a really good gift to give. And you can also stuff stuff inside the tennis bag. Like you can stuff tennis grips inside the tennis bag. So yeah, I'll leave some links for you guys. And I don't, like, something I don't suggest is buying strings, just because like tennis players, like even if you're a beginner, like they're really peculiar about what type of strings they use. And I would say to leave a professional string your racket. So that's that. And then now I want to talk about apparel and footwear. So first I want to start off by talking about clothing. So I mean, there's so many clothing options out there. So I mean, Nike, Adidas, Lululemon all have really cute options, but I really love like the what's it called? Yeah, Wilson. I really love Wilson just because they have so much cute designs, and compared to Nike's more of like just functional, but Wilson and Lulu, I think, are more just like aesthetic vibes, and they just look really cute. I would suggest like buying a jacket from Lululemon, or buying like skirts from Lululemon. And then there's also a really nice shirt that I play tennis with from Lulu that I will also link for you guys. But Wilson also have some incredible tennis skirts. They have some incredible just like full dresses, if that's something that you're into. So I can also leave a link for that. And in terms of Nike and Adidas, I just think they're a staple for just your random like sweatproof shirt, you know, like that dry fit material. And I also really love the Nike shorts, because I don't know if it's just me, but for the Lulu ones, some of them don't have like a built-in short underneath the short, if that makes sense. But Nike do have some designs like that. So I'm gonna try to find it. I have one, but I like, that's like my favorite pair, but I don't know if I can find it on the website, but I'll try for you guys. And for the shoes, I mean, shoes, I feel like some people can be really peculiar too. Like, for example, I think a way to go about it is if they have a favorite player. Like, for example, for me, I really like Naomi Osaka, and she had like a tennis shoe collaboration with Nike. So that's like the tennis shoes I wore. Like, it's sort of like basketball where you just know who your favorite player is and you know their shoes and you buy their shoes, if that makes sense. So like, I also know that On, which is the Roger Federer brand, have some incredible tennis shoes. One of my tennis friends wear that, so if you guys want to check that out, feel free. And just some other basic tennis court shoes like the Nike court. I mean, I'll just leave some links if you guys want to check it out. And if you guys just don't know what shoes to buy, that's totally fine. I mean, I get that. Or even just like clothing, just give them a gift card of their favorite brand, because I think just giving them a brand is so much versatile. If you want to buy a shoe, I suggest doing On or Nike. If you want to just like buy clothing for them, or like make them buy clothing, I suggest Lululemon or Wilson. But that's it. And now I want to talk about tennis tech. This is more sort of niche, and there's like only one thing that I can really think about. It's sort of like games sort of thing. But there's this game, I think it's on the PS5, and it's called Tennis Tour, and it's like new, and I tried it when I was working at the US Open. Um, it was like in the American Express fan experience like sort of room, but it's this thing where you get to choose your favorite tennis player, you get to choose your venue. There's like venues from like US Open, all the 4 Grand Slams, and everywhere, and you get to play a match. I mean, it's like just like a controller game, but I think it's really cool if someone's like a gamer and a tennis player. I think they would really like that. So yeah, that's just the tennis tech portion of this. I mean, for me, I think it's just like I don't like to play games, so I'm not really sure about this section. And then I want to talk about novelty and fun items. So themed accessories. So for example, you can buy tennis earrings, tennis ball shaped mugs, keychains. So tennis earrings, actually Naomi Osaka have one partnered with Etsy that I think is super cute. I will leave a link for you guys on that one. And also, if you guys want, you guys can buy like those tennis pins. Like I have one taped on my like tennis sort of exhibition, whatever. Okay, so it's like a tennis racket on top, and then there's this pen where you can write on it. It's really cute. So if you guys want that, I'll also leave a link for that as well. Yeah, and tennis shaped mugs. I mean, it really doesn't have to be tennis shaped. I think if there's just like some cute tennis balls design on it, I think a really great place to look it for just like these tennis themed stuff is Etsy, because you can even get them personalized. Okay, so now I also want to talk about books. I'm a huge reader. I'm really big on books, and there are some books I think I want to suggest on tennis. Some of them I've read, some of them I haven't. I think I want to do like a tennis book episodes of like all the biographies and memoirs regarding tennis and just my thoughts on it. But for now, I think my suggestions are open by Andre Agassi. This is my favorite biography of all time. Such a good book. And if you guys just like, they don't even have to like Agassi to read this book. It's just such a great book to read if you're into sports. So I really recommend that book. Also, The Inner Game of Tennis. I have it sitting on my bookshelf. I haven't started it yet, but they said that it's like a really good mental book to read. Sort of it helps you change your mind viewing the sport. And if they really like players such as like Naomi Osaka, I know Naomi Osaka had a book written about her by Ben Rothenberg. I do have an episode on that book, and also have like an episode with Ben Rothenberg. If you guys are interested in that, feel free to look in my episode histories. Also Maria Sharapova have a biography. Novak also do. Rafa also have one. I think all of them have one. So if you know they're like really big in one of the famous tennis players, you can sort of focus on that and give them a book on that. But I really do recommend Open. I think it's such a great book. And then the next part is art and decor. I mean, that's sort of what I had. Like my mom gave me posters. They really don't have to be posters of your favorite players. They can also just be tennis art that you see. Like I think Etsy's have some cute tennis art, and you can just have them framed. Or just like some iconic tennis moments, such as like a player winning a Grand Slam, your favorite player winning, and just, you know, like a cute picture. It doesn't even have to be something that it's online. If you just happen to be a photographer and you have a favorite picture captured, then you can also use that. And yeah, so now I want to talk about experience gifts. So these are just, I feel like some of them are more expensive and more abstract, but I think a lot of people appreciate it. So for example, the first one being tickets to tournaments. So I mean, like it matters where they live. Like for me, I live in New York. I know the New York like US Open tickets isn't on sale yet, but if someone's like in Australia, you can give them like a ticket to watch the Australian Open, which is super cool. Or if you just like, if the country you live in doesn't have tennis tickets on sale yet, you can give them like merch from that tournament. Like for example, I can buy whoever I want if they live in New York, like a US Open merch if they're really big into US Open. So yeah. And also lessons and clinics. I mean, this is just a staple and it's really easy if you know where to train. You can just book tennis lessons or clinics for them, so they have sort of options for them to improve and get better. And membership, sort of the same thing, like in your local tennis club. Oh, so there's something that I also want to mention. There's this masterclass thing with Serena Williams on tennis. I had it like 5 years back, but I don't remember how good it was, but I think it really changed my perspective on tennis. I'll see if it's still up and I'll leave a link for you guys. But note that you have to be like a masterclass subscriber, which is kind of expensive, but that's also an option. So yeah, but that's all of my ideas. I know I sound like probably really dead right now, but I really hope you guys enjoyed. I'll try to leave a link for everything I mentioned. I know there's a lot, but I'll try. And yeah, but thank you so much. And if you haven't subscribed to my social medias, you should. It's at Tennis Traverse. That's at Tennis Traverse on Instagram and Twitter. You can also, you can like, subscribe, and comment on my YouTube videos if you're listening on YouTube, and rate my podcast episode if you're listening on any other streaming platforms. I'm sorry I'm really dead right now, but I really hope you guys enjoyed this episode, and I think next week I really want to do like an sort of like the best players and just nominations of the year sort of thing like we did last year, and I really hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Hopefully it isn't too late for you guys to buy gifts for your favorite people, and yeah, I'll see you guys next week.